Hello everyone and welcome to the drivers room. This is the Super Formula Championship. We're in season 2 now. This is round 2, tier 2, and we're at Brands Hatch today for our half-an-hour race. As we take you on our grid walk, on pole we have Richie. He didn't race in round 1, so no points in the championship so far. And in second place we have Mersoff, who is our championship leader at the moment with 18 points. He was the winner of the last round. And in third place we have Arden Blue, picked up third place in round 1, so he's sitting in second place in the championship overall at the moment. I think he picked up a clean race bonus and fastest lap. We have myself in fourth place, DJ Rice, finished fourth in round 1 as well. In fifth place we have Chris, didn't race in round 1, so sitting on 0 points at the moment in the championship, but very quick driver, one to look out for. In sixth place we have Nightmare Racer, finished second place in round 1, but only 16 points, so he's sitting behind Arden Blue in the championship. I don't believe he picked up the clean race bonus in the last round. It's making quite a bit of difference already. And seventh place we have MJR Mercer. It's 13 points in the championship overall. He finished 5th in round 1. Very competent driver. In 8th place we have Kimaru, finished 7th in round 1, has 4 points towards his season so far. In 9th place we have Canny, didn't race in round 1, so this is his debut in the Super Formula Championship this season. In 10th place we have AGT Grimlock, resident commentator. Last race finished 10th, so he's qualified in 10th today, finished 10th last round. 4 points to his championship so far. 11th place we have Jason, who finished 8th in round 1. Another competent driver there. In 11th place we have Half Pie. She finished just outside the points in round 1, finished in 11th, qualified 12th here. In 13th we have Bosch, finished 9th place in round 1. And in 14th place we have Munro, finished in 12th place in the last round, still getting to grips with Super Formula cars. And that's our grid walk. Everyone today is starting on racing super softs, apart from the pole sitter Richie, who's starting on racing softs. You have Half Pie on racing softs and Munro at the back here on racing mediums. So see how that pans out at the front. But that's today's grid walk. Let's get underway. So here we are then at Brands Hatch, round 2 of the Super Formula Championship. We have Richie on pole. As we're about to get underway, engines on. Oh, we got a false start there from Mersoff. That's going to cost him. And Kimmy goes straight into the back of him with major engine damage there as well. We go back up the grid through Paddock Hill for the first time. There's a couple of people off the track there. Arden Blue's had an absolute nightmare. Front damage. And we've got Canny at the back. Oh, contact again. Wow, not a great start. So we go back to the front of the grid now. Richie's maintained his lead from pole position. Chris in second place. He's moved up from 5th, he's done well there. Mercer in 3rd, Grim in 4th, myself in 5th. Oh, little tap on Grim there. Lost a bit of momentum coming through. Let's head back to the front of the grid now. Richie's still ahead there. Settling down in 1st place, Chris in 2nd, Mercer in 3rd. Grim, myself, Nightmare 4th, 5th and 6th respectively as we come down Bradham Straight into the paddock hill bin for the 2nd time. Seem to be keeping it clean there. It's Kimmy now after his oh, Mersoff's got back in front of Kimmy. So both of them recovered after Mersoff's false start. Kimmy shunting him at, oh, he's off again. Oh dear. Let's see if we can pick the pace up and get back on the back of these guys. That looks like Mersoff making a move on Grim. Looks like I've got ahead of Grim somewhere along the lines as well. Looks like Mersoff's putting the pressure straight on me as well as he goes a little bit wide there. Some very, very quick drivers in this room. Looks like Nightmare could be in a position to make a move on Grim here. They go in the Druids, one of the few genuine overtaking opportunities on this track. Very fast flowing track, and yeah, the overtaking opportunities generally come from other people making mistakes, but fantastic track to race on. So we go back to the front of the grid now. Seems Chris has made a little bit of progress catching Richie. Does seem a little bit closer this time around as he gives it a bit of the overtake button. So we come round to the Bradham Straight again. Chris crosses the line, 109.4, exactly the same as Chris behind. Mercer in the 110s, 108 from myself there, and 110 from Mersoff. Grim in the 111s, Kim in the 110s. Oh, little bit of off-road excursions there from Nightmare. As he looks to make a move on Kimmy. He holds the inside, he undercuts him, and has he got the legs to get in front here? I think he's just about done it. As they go into Surtees, I believe that is. Yep, he's got the move done, but Kimmy is now right up as we go on board with him. Yeah, thinks twice about overtaking into Hawthorns. You're not going to go side by side through there. Let's go back to the front of the grid and we'll have a run down again. Richie's still holding his lead against Chris here. Consistent times there, 109.4s. So we go through Druids. So racing softs to see how they the strategy pans out, because he's on the racing softs. But Chris behind on the super softs has less. Oh dear, Richie's gone off there. Yep, and Chris has taken first place. Richie with a mistake coming out of Surtees goes off track and lost all momentum going down Pilgrim's Drop, and yeah, it was kind of inevitable really. Let's see if he can hang on to the back of him. But yeah, as I was just saying, that's quite impressive driving from Chris there. Good tyre wear on the super softs. Oh dear, Richie's off again. pace to settle down now. Just try and stick to the back of stay in the slipstream of Chris. In third place we still have Mercer. Fourth place myself. As Mercer comes over the line. 109.7. 109.4 for myself, so I've gained a little bit there. It's got Nightmare crossing the line in the 111s. Kimmy, Grim, and is that Jason? So we have Kimmy in 6th, Mercer 7th, Grim in 8th in close succession to each other. A little bit wide there from Grim, but nothing too shabby. So we have Jason down in 9th in the 111s now. Seems to have a second and third lap at 118, 119. A little bit messy, but seems to have settled down now. Got Half Pie down in 10th. Just set her personal best of a 113. Canny down in 11th. Just setting his personal best as we speak, and a little bit off road there. Jev, wow, 108, so has got some pace, but incredibly bad start. I think he just smashed into the barriers and ended up at the back of the grid with damage, so definitely a race of recovery from Arden Blue. And absolutely missed Canny just going off the track somewhere. Anyway, back with the leader. Setting his personal best now. Now he's out in front with clean air, and he seems to have pulled a massive gap to Richie. Good couple of seconds gap there. Both of them. How have I got into third place? Mercer made a mistake. Let's go back there. So we come down Pilgrim's Drop. I'm in the slipstream of Mercer now as we go on board. Did he come off around Hawthorns? Yeah, there it is. That gets me up into third place, into the podium places. So Mercer now trying to recover. And we have Nightmare in 5th. Ooh, oh dear. Big crash from Nightmare. He's all over the place. Has he got engine damage from that? No, he's got front end damage, so he should still have the speed down the straight to stay ahead of Mercer, who is right up his gearbox as we go on board. Doesn't make the move into Paddock Hill. What can he do into Druids now? A little bit scrappy. Nightmare just holding on there. Yep, pulled a good enough gap now. Should be safe down Pilgrim's Drop. Yeah, he's got a good enough gap there to be safe from Mercer. Seems to have a little bit of field spread now. Still on board with Mercer, and Kimmy has a bit of an excursion there, and so does Grim right behind him. Looks like, I mean, you can do that sometimes, sort of follow people in front when they go wide, basically, and you just look like, you know, personally speaking, I've done it myself, you look like a bit of an idiot just following them straight off the track. Not saying that's what happened there, but you know what I mean. Let's go back to the front of the grid now. We've got Chris just stretching the lead, still in the 109s. Very, very consistent driver. Richie behind. Settled into the 1 minute 10s now. Myself also into the 1 minute 10s. Mercer, last lap was a 111. Nightmare Racer down in 5th. Last lap 109, so still got the pace there. We have Mersoff 110 last lap as he starts to close the gap again to Nightmare, as they both pass the back marker of Munro, I believe. It's Grim going into the pit. Grim pitting already on the 10-minute mark. Interesting. So either he's going to go long on this next stint, or he's going to stop. Going to have to stop again. I'd say he's going to stop again. As Jason takes 8th place from him. This is Grim coming out the pits now. Arden Blue, not far behind. Also pitted. No, he hasn't. Why is that P there on the unless he he must have pitted very early on lap 4 by the looks of it. So got a lot of progress to make up here after his crash at the start. Half by, another personal best there of a 113. Munro struggling a little bit with his super formula bar, looks at it in the 120s at the moment on the racing medium. Back with the leader now, we have Chris just absolutely stretching his legs now. He's nearly the full length of Pilgrim's drop ahead of Richie, who's still solidly in the 111s. I am behind him in the 110, so catching slowly. Fourth place Mercer after he's literally only made that one mistake when I was behind him. Seems to stabilise his pace again now in the 111s. Tyre wear is becoming a little bit crucial now. Better tyre wear from Nightmare, but looks like he also pitted on lap 4. I must have missed around the pits there. As Mersoff right up his gearbox. It has been pretty close. These two have been pretty close together for a big chunk of the race as we go on board with Mersoff again into Paddock Hill. Nightmare a little bit wide. Good momentum from Mersoff. Can he? Oh, I thought he was gonna chuck it up the inside of Druids. Thought better of it. It's a long race, so there really is no point making rash overtakes. So stay on board with Mersoff now. Will he get the slipstream run down Pilgrim's Drop? They come out of Surtees pretty even, but he is in his slipstream. Overtake button used from Nightmare for a bit of defence there. Mersoff all over the battle, a little bit of contact there. As the gap opened up for a split second, Mersoff took a look and Nightmare shut the door. Fair hard racing. On board with Mercer now. Oh, he's lost a load of momentum there. What's happened? He's hitting the limiter in 4th gear as well. The Mercer's had a bit of a moment there, lost the position to Nightmare and just about holding Mercer off at the moment. But he goes wide into Druids. Mercer straight up the inside, takes the invitation, but Mercer has the inside line for the next bend, defends well, and yeah, retains track positions. We've got Kimmy in the pits now, which we'll see where he feeds back into as Grim comes round the last corner onto Bradman Straight, crosses the line, and Kimmy's back out the pits into Druid. So yeah, came back out in front of Grim, who goes off just before Druids. He promotes Arden Blue up into 8th place. Pretty bad tyre wear at the moment, so See how that plays out. Richie's pits on the softs. Very low fuel there. Very low fuel. I also have just pitted. So those, I'm not sure those P's are correct, you know. But anyway, we've got a round of pits now. Mercer's in the pits. Richie just exiting the pits in 4th place. Mercer still in the pits as Kimmy comes around the last corner. Nightmare rejoins the race in 5th place. Kimmy in 6th. Mercer in 7th. All on fresh rubber, but it looks like Kimmy didn't fuel for that round of pit stop, so he's going to have a lighter car. Obviously a longer pit stop when he pits again. As we have the race leader now in the pits. Myself coming round, also pitting. So Mersoff in 3rd place. He was on an absolute charge. He comes around the final bend down the Brabham straight. And he takes the lead. Chris comes out the pits in 2nd place. Myself, DJ Rice, still in the pits fueling at the moment as I'm just leaving the pits. And retain my 3rd place just ahead of Richie there. All good. See how the race settles down now after this bout of pit stops. See how long Mersoff can go for. He hasn't got a lot of fuel left. Really needs to bang in some lap times now. Oh, absolutely on the edge at all times, this guy. Chris in 2nd place on his fresh rubber. See what he can do. Myself with Richie catching me at the moment. He's got the momentum he pitted earlier. He's all over me at the moment. Ride on board. We go through the final bend. Onto the straight. Looks like I've got a good exit there, so I should be safe, as Richie is thumb hard down on the overtake button. Oh, looks like he's gone wide and he's hit a back marker. What happened there? Maybe he was unsighted, I don't know. It looked like the back marker had pulled over to sort of get out of the way. He was half ghosted, and that's a shame because he was making good progress on the back of me at that time before that crash. So that's definitely given me a bit of breathing room. Have Chris in 1st place, myself in 2nd, Richie in 3rd. Mersoff in 4th. After pitting from 1st, he rejoins the race in 4th place. Nightmare in 5th. We have Mercer in 6th. Kimaru down in 7th. Seems to have a bit of field spread again, apart from these 2 guys. There'll be Mercer on a back marker there. Just having a look at the map, see who's actually fighting at the moment. Anyway, we have Grim pitting in from 8th place. So this will promote Jason up into 8th. Arden Blue, who's just pitted. Full tank of fuel and fresh rubber. See what he can do now. Smashing the overtake button down the straight as he sets a 108 flat. That is a very quick lap. Grim still in the pits. So Half Pie's had a little bit of an off there around Surtees as she crawls around. Back on track now. We've got Munro right at the back, still getting the grips of this Super Formula car. So anyway, back with the lead now. We have Chris still in the 109s, quite comfortable now by the looks of it. Just seems to be in a race of his own. So he comes round Surtees again down the Pilgrim drop. Second place myself, a few seconds behind there. Set a 108 myself. So I have Richie back in the 108s after his unfortunate crash going into Paddock Hill with a back marker. Mersoff in fourth. By the way, forgive me if I'm getting any of these names wrong, I'm sure you'll correct me in the Discord. Nightmare in 5th. 107.8 from Nightmare there, that's a very, very quick lap. Where's that pace been? So he looks to put a bit of pressure on Mersoff. See what lap time he does here, but 107.8 is a very quick time. Bit of dust being kicked up there. Oh, that is Mersoff off the track into the barriers. Nightmare up in the 4th. No damage there thankfully, but very dirty tyres. I'll take a couple of corners to scrub them. If it wasn't for the incidents Mersoff's had, I'd say he'd be a hell of a lot further up the field by now. Yeah, always on the ragged edge. There you go, just like that. Just stay with these two for a moment. Off the track again. Not close enough to have a run here, not in his slipstream, but the pressure's enough and he comes off around Paddock Hill bend into the sand, slows right down, and Mersoff reclaims 4th place. See if you can extend that gap now. It's a beautiful shot there over the apex. Mersoff, oh, he's gone wide himself. He's going to lose a lot of momentum here. Yep, Nightmare, difficult place to make an overtake. Yep, Mersoff defends really well. Retains his position. Very lucky because, oh, he's off again. Surely this time. Yep, Nightmare just about makes it stick. These two are having a race all by themselves. Very entertaining stuff, great driving from the pair of them. Back to these two guys in a moment as Kimmy pits from 7th place. That promotes Iron Blue up into 7th place. Absolutely on it, still putting the times in. Kimmy comes out of the pits. Jason just about gets into the pits, which will probably promote Grim. Yeah, is this the last? Yeah, come around the last couple of corners now. Jason does need a full tank, so well, he's only half filled. Of course he has, it's only 7 minutes left. This isn't the direct race. Thought we was on for an hour stint for a second there. So Kimmy rejoins in 8th place. Arden up to 7th now. So we've got just over 5 minutes left of this race. Chris definitely doesn't have to stop again. Half tank fuel, tyres in pretty good condition. Myself, half a tank, tyres in not such good condition. Looks like Munro, the back marker, just getting out of the way there. Thank you. As Richie just passes the back marker too. A little bit less fuel for Richie, and his tyre wear is a little bit more critical than myself in second place. So we'll see how that pans out. Is that going to be enough fuel to finish? We'll see. As we have Mersoff still in fourth with Nightmare behind. These two guys have been fighting for most of the race. Very entertaining stuff. Nightmare in fifth. Also quite critical on the fuel. I don't know, not sure how much time we'll get out of a quarter of a tank, but we'll see how that pans out. It's Mercer now consistently putting in 110s. Fuel should be good to the end. Tyres should be okay. Hard and blue should pretty much be flat out to the end of the race. There's Kimmy close behind him. Fresh rubber and very light car. Jason here in 9th. Should be good to the end of the race now. We have Grim in 10th. Also good to the end of the race, plenty of fuel. He's just dipped into the nearly dipped into the 110s there. A flat 1 minute 11. Half pie and myself just overtaking half pie there. 1 minute 12.6. So slowly building up the speed there. Munro down in last place. Back with the leader now, we have Chris. Mr. Consistent. I say he's coming off the back of I think 2 wins in the Endurance Championship and maybe a win in the Sunday League as well. Yeah, I've followed him a couple of races, and a very hard guy to catch once he gets ahead, as he's proving again. But he's gone off here, not a bad one, but there's a commentator's curse for you, Mr. Consistent, and he takes a little excursion. So back on the overtake button, get that get that speed back up. Second place, still miles ahead of myself there. In the 1 minute 11s now. Richie in third, coming up to a couple of back markers. So it's a difficult track to overtake on, so back markers are always gone off. He's going to lose a lot of momentum there. Yeah, back markers are very difficult to navigate around here, especially in the super formula cars. But Richie's tyre wear is not looking great there. I think he might, I don't know, he could struggle towards the end of this race. There's only 2.5 minutes left. So we've got Nightmare pitting. Yeah, he was critical for fuel, Nightmare, so that's put him, rejoins in 5th place. Mercer right behind him now. So he didn't lose any places, but he's under pressure from Mercer, whose tyre wear is not great, so we can see if he can actually try and attack it, as we've got Kim in the pits. Just the last thing. Again, he may have pitted because he might not have lost any places there. So he might have just put some fresh rubber in at the end and might even nick the fastest lap with a light car. Zarden Blues in 7th place now. Kimmy in 8th. Jason in 9th. Just about to get overtaken by Mersoff. Grim down in 10th. Half by in 11th. Munro in 12th. Hold on a minute, why is Richie and Mursoff so close together? Let's just go back a little bit here. Has Richie made a mistake somewhere? I think he has. So he's got a bit of a gap there to Mursoff. So he comes down to grab him straight. Into Paddock Hill, his tyre wear's really bad, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's what's caught him out somewhere. Or maybe it is just Mursoff absolutely hammering it. Yeah, it just looks like Mursoff's speed's what's brought him back up the right behind Richie now. No mistakes from Richie, just Mursoff absolutely on it on fresher tyres. As we follow him down Pilgrim's Drop now. On board. No overtake used from Mursoff. Surprising, there's only 30 seconds of the race left and no overtake button used. Has he assigned it? Oh, was there contact there? Richie may want to stewards into that one, but Mursoff takes third place in the last podium spot. Fantastic drive from Mursoff. It looks like, yep, third and fourth place finish for those two, right on the line there. The leader's on another lap just because of the timing, but the 30-minute mark was up. That's Nightmare in fifth. Mercer coming around the last bend now in sixth place, comfortable sixth place there. Arden Blue, good recovery drive there, seventh place. And Kimaru to take eighth place. We go back to the leader now just to watch him cross the line. But yeah, he must have crossed the line just after the 30-minute mark, hence the third place and below finishing the race. Chris and myself just about got another lap in. So yeah, you have to be careful with fuel as well, that don't catch you up. But there it is, Chris in first place, congratulations, brilliant drive. Myself in second. Quite a quiet drive once the field spread out.